Today I've got 10 free websites that are perfect for your genealogy research. Let's jump in. Okay, first up is Linkpendium. Now, this is kind of an interesting website. This is created by a couple people who have been working on this for a while. I learned about Linkpendium a couple years ago, and this is really cool. So you can search by location, you can search surnames, and so on. And they've got a little graphic down here as to what they've been working on lately. But what's really cool is you can jump into a state. You know, I like to do location research because I like to find out what's available in certain areas. And then you can jump into whichever county you want. This is awesome. This is like a little wiki. And what's really cool here, let me show you at the bottom of the page. If you are building a web page for your family history, or you know of a great resource, you can add it right here by clicking this link at the bottom of the page. You have to get into one of the pages though, like a state or something. Fill this out and send it in. And yeah, pretty cool. Linkpendium, great resource. By the way, speaking of free, I have created a free handout for this. It is full of United States. It also has some bonuses in there, some European websites, some Canadian websites, and some Australian websites. So if you want the handout, I'll leave a link in the description below. So check it out. And it's free. Next up is the FamilySearch Wiki. And boy, if you are not familiar with the FamilySearch Wiki, then you should be. So you're going to have a free account at FamilySearch. And by the way, FamilySearch is not one on the list, but the wiki is. So once you sign in, you can have access to the FamilySearch Wiki. So I quickly signed in, and now what I like to do, again, because I like to do location research. And so why do we do location research? It is because we need to understand what records are available, when borders change, when records became available. For example, birth and death records may not have been created until like the early 1900s, somewhere around 1909 to 1920, depending on the location in the United States at least. And marriage records go back farther, but unless you know that, but places like these wikis, MyHeritage has a new wiki, by the way, you can drill into the location and see when some of these records are located, or when they were created. So you can jump into, I don't know, let's pick Florida this time. And so we're in Florida, and now we get a whole bunch of information. If you're not familiar with the wiki, oh my gosh, you should be. So this is all hyperlinked. You can drill into the different counties. And over here are the record types. This is super important because these are hyperlinks, and they'll jump you down to the bottom of the page. Let's pick church records for a second. We jump down to church records. And now for Florida, we can see what church records are available and where. So as you're scrolling through here, you'll start to see what records are available and where they are. The cool part about FamilySearch Wiki is that they don't care if it's on FamilySearch or Ancestry or MyHeritage or some other website. They're going to give you the link, and they're also going to tell you if it's a paid site or not. For example, here's one with a $sign. So this is telling you that this is part of a paid website, but it still hyperlinks you to that location. FamilySearch Wiki is probably my #1 go-to place when I'm doing research in a specific location and I want to learn about what records are available, where to find them. Even this is a great resource for newspapers too, because you can hyperlink over to the newspaper section and find out what records are available, what newspapers are available for that state. Now, if you're going to do newspapers, I suggest you first drill into the county level and then go see what newspapers were around at that time in the location in which you're researching. It has occurred to me that if this is your first time here, you might not know who I am, and my name is Connie Knox. So I just wanted to say hello, especially to those who are new, and let's jump back into the next website. The next website on our list is the DPLA, which is the Digital Public Library of America. And this is a fantastic website. I have found all kinds of stuff on here. And this is a great website if you want to get some context about your family history and where, your family was from, and you can really kind of dig in. But look right down here, they also have a family research for genealogists. Use our search tools to find free materials for their family history research projects. You click into that and then you can explore even further. I have just searched the entire collection for my ancestors. And, to me, websites like this are like window shopping. You never know what you're going to find until you go look. So the DPLA is another fantastic resource. Hey, make sure you're subscribed so that you get more genealogy videos like this one. Next on the list is Cyndi's list. Now, this is another wiki, but Cyndi is the one who's putting this together. You can certainly add your information to it. You have to send that information in. But Cyndi's list, this is a big ad, so ignore that. A lot of these websites are supported by advertisements. But this is another wiki where you can do location research and find more resources in the location in which you are researching. I can't emphasize enough how important location research is, because it's one thing to go search for your ancestor's name. Everybody wants to do that. But at the end of the day, you need to understand the location in which you're researching. So Cyndi's list is another great one for that. All right, next on the list is FindAGrave. I can't do one of these without talking about FindAGrave. Now, FindAGrave, I've known people who have completed like their entire family tree on FindAGrave. It is free. It is a user member subscription, but there's no money involved. You have to have an account there. FindAGrave is now owned by Ancestry, so with that, you may be getting hints delivered to you if you have an Ancestry account. You may be getting FindAGrave hints, which is perfectly fine. But as with anything, you always need to make sure that you are verifying the information on here, because this is just user input and they could be adding stuff that they just think is right. So always follow up with real records. Now, I have gone and I put in one of my ancestors' names, and I'm going to do a quick search. And there's my ancestor, Benjamin Garrett. First of all, you have these tabs here, memorial, photos, and flowers. Always leave flowers. So here, I have not done that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, leave a flower. And this doesn't cost you anything. I always try and leave the same flowers. And I'm not even going to type a note in there. I'm just going to, it'll show my name, which is fine. And then I'm going to add flowers. And that way it puts a timestamp on there as to when I was there. So that's one tip. Also, when you find your ancestor, go look in the cemetery. See here where it says Garrett Cemetery? That's probably a private cemetery. And so when you click into the cemetery, now you can search for Garrett or other family names that are in that family line. And now I've got a list of everybody buried in that cemetery by the same last name. You can almost guarantee, of course it's a Garrett cemetery, but you can almost guarantee that when you do that little trick, you're going to find other family members. And of course, this is another one that I wish didn't have ads. Ancestry, please remove the ads from FindAGrave. But yeah, anyway, great website. And you can do a lot of research on that website and find images of your family members. Sometimes you find records. Sometimes you'll find, of course, pictures of tombstones is usually the common one that you'll find. But I've seen people upload birth certificates and all kinds of information on there. So make sure you're checking FindAGrave. Okay, the USGenWeb Project is probably another one that is definitely bookmark worthy. Okay, so here they are now celebrating 25 years. This is awesome. And so this is all volunteer run. And so there are volunteers that have different areas, different geographical areas that they manage. So we can actually drill into the map, and here is the Pennsylvania page, and we can drill in. So here they've got some policies and resources and stuff, and you can volunteer if you want. Pennsylvania counties, we'll drill into that, and we can scroll down. You can see all the different coordinators. Now, what is it about this page that is so different than some of the others that I've already been showing you? Well, here's the deal. These people that are the coordinators for those areas often are experts for those areas. So if you are researching in a certain area, again, location, 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 research is important in the location in which you are doing. So go and contact some of these experts in the area, and if you have any questions, and see if they might have some resources you're not familiar with. And of course, you want to drill into the different counties, right? And see what they have available. Now, this one happens to be up for adoption. I don't know if you noticed that. This says up for adoption. So if you live in these areas, you could go and volunteer as a coordinator for that area. Highly recommend it. Now, Geni is another one that you can actually, not only can you build a tree, look, you can actually build a tree here. You can build a tree, you can add your mother and your father and your grandparents and so on, and actually build a tree for free here. You can do research. Now, Geni is now owned by MyHeritage, but this website is still free. One of the things that I wanted to point out here is under the research tab, you can upload a GEDCOM file. Now, if you're not familiar with what a GEDCOM file is, that is all of the data. You can, like, say you have a family tree on Ancestry, or you've gotten a GEDCOM from another family member who's been working on the family tree. Okay, so that data in the GEDCOM file is all the birth, marriage, death, all the factual stuff. It typically does not include photographs or documents. However, you can at least get started by uploading a GEDCOM file to Geni and build out your family tree for free, especially if you're just getting started and you don't want to spend any money doing it. Come over here and start building your tree. Now, other options too for free building of websites. Ancestry has a free option where you can build a tree for free. And then also MyHeritage has one as well. And so you can, start building your tree. But this is a great little start if you're just getting started in genealogy. And check out some of the discussion groups and whatnot to play around with Geni. I'm super excited. First of all, if you're learning anything or you're getting something new out of this, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Also, next week, I am going to be doing a live show on my birthday, April 18th, which is a Thursday. This is 2024, in case you're watching in future years. We're going to be doing the 400th episode, and I've got a ton of prizes I'm going to be giving away. And so I hope you'll join me on the live stream. And, well, make sure you're subscribed, because when you are subscribed, and especially if you hit that bell notification, you will probably get notification of when we're going live and the link, and we'll try and send it out in the newsletter as well. If you are not on the newsletter list, make sure you that's free too. That'll be in the description boxes below as well. So we'll put those links down there too. All right. Stick around. We got a couple more. WorldCat is another one that is a great resource. This is a catalog of all library catalogs that contribute to WorldCat, and I think most of them do. They even have a genealogy section where you can learn a little bit more about genealogy. But I'm constantly researching in Randolph County lately, and so I do this a lot. But let's put in Randolph County, North Carolina history and see what pops up. And we have a list of books. We have a list of a lot of things. We have some manuscripts and some books. And let's say this is one that I'm interested in. So this one is in Michigan State University. I can borrow that book, or I can go to Michigan State University and try and find it. So WorldCat, another great resource. Okay, I'm saving a few of the best ones for last. The National Archives here in the United States. You can get there by going to nara.gov, or in this case, it automatically reverted to archives.gov. So either way, you're going to get to this website, and it contains U.S. Census, military service records, immigration records, land records, and a whole lot more. You can dig into this website and really kind of see if you can find some of those records. Now, a lot of these records are on Ancestry, MyHeritage, FamilySearch, and they're a little easier to find, especially the census records are a little easier to research through those websites because they're indexed a little better. Here at the National Archives website, it's a little more challenging to search some of those census records, but they also have some records that you might not find anywhere else. So make sure that you are also checking nara.gov. Before I get to number 10, I have a bunch of bonuses. Well, all right, a couple of bonuses, but the handout has a bunch of stuff that I haven't been able to go through here. This would be a crazy long video, but I just wanted to give you the heads up. Okay, number 10 is Chronicling America. Now, this is the newspaper website that is part of our Library of Congress. I mean, you just have to come search. It's free, unlike some of the other newspaper websites. You never know what you're going to find, so you have to do some research. So they have newspapers from 1756 to 1963, and you can sit and search by state and by time period. Let's see some of the older newspapers. 1756 to 1825. This is all states, but you're getting some newspapers from Wilmington, Delaware. I mean, boy, you know, you get some of these really old papers. I just love reading them because it's so fascinating to just peruse what is in the paper. And when you get here, just pay attention to the menus up here, and you can download the text or the PDF, and you can dig right in and see it in really good clarity. Look at that. That's amazing. This is from September 20th, 1800, a new century. And, well, isn't that cool? Look at the old S. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's just so much fun. All right, so Chronicling America, check it out. As promised, here are a couple bonuses for you. I have here, now this happens to be the Nebraska digital collections for the state archives. So my grouping here is state archives. So you can Google the state in which you are researching, plus state archives, plus like digital collections. And in this case, all I did was ask Google for the state archives for Nebraska digital collections, and it'll take you there. Now I have a handout that has every state in the union in one handout for $5. You can get that. It's got every email link to the archivist, the phone number, and the hyperlink to every digital collections in the United States. So if that's something you're interested in, run over to genealogytv.org/handouts and just search archives and you'll find it. It says right here, it's the handout for the state archives episode. I highly recommend, I mean, there's 50 more free websites for you right there. The 50 United States, every one of them has a digital collection online. And boy, you can find land records, probate records, all kinds of stuff. And this alone is huge. This is probably one of the first stops you need to make when you're trying to get outside the box, right? You're getting outside of Ancestry, outside of whatever collection website that you're on. Go to the state archives. Now, the next one that I have is Google Books. Now, all I did was go to, let me go back. There's Google Books, right? It's books.google.com. And all I did was search Steubenville, Ohio. And I'm getting a whole bunch of books here that are super helpful if I want to learn about Steubenville, Ohio, and in Jefferson County. Look at that. Definitely. That's on Google Books right there. And I can click into that and I can look at it right online. And in some cases you can download it. Very cool. Search Google Books. You could actually probably search your ancestor's name plus the location and see what you come up with. All right, and then the last one I have is a trick that I learned from Scott Fisher over there is eBay. eBay, again, I searched Steubenville, Ohio just to see what I would come up with. And there are books here. Sometimes you can find out-of-print books, old postcards, old love letters. You never know what you're going to come up with when you are searching on eBay. Sometimes you can find Civil War memorabilia. It just depends on what you're looking for. And so you might even try different search criteria, maybe using the location plus genealogy or something like that on eBay. So those are the bonus tips, including the 10 and the bonus tips for the United States. Now keep in mind the handout also has Australia, Canada, and European websites that are free that you can go and search as well. And links for everything are in the description box below. Don't forget the live show next week. And lots of prizes and stuff on that. So hope to see you then. Bye.